We have much more to go, but we are going to get there. We're getting there. This is Day of Atonement. A Day of Atonement. Supposedly, right? A celebration, so we're celebrating. Praise the Lord.
Praise the Lord.
I knew that sometime during this they were going to cut us off. They cut the truth off. If I was a church, as I was testifying before we were rudely cut off, if I was some pastor in a church, then they would not cut me off.
Amen.
They may even be encouraging other people to join.
Right.
Right? You got to tune into this pastor who now on live stream on Facebook, who's teaching you everything that you should know about nothing. Right? Especially my people. But just in case we're cut off again, I'm going to give you a number that I should have done, as I always do at the beginning of our live stream videos, and that is give you our teleconference number. We're still being recorded on our teleconference line. And I strongly don't believe they can cut that off. So our conference number, so you can continue to listen and monitor us during the remainder of this testimony, this is part 2, is 831-221-6177. Again, that's 831-221-6177. If you can watch both, and you can call in, and you can watch and monitor on your cell phone or your laptop at the same time. In the meantime, I believe our subject before we were cut off was my people, how they would rather go to church than to come to our temple and learn the truth of their own God. Right? Why? Because in the church, they teach you of Adam and Eve. They'd rather go to church and learn of Adam and Eve. They can't learn of Adam and Eve. They can only learn about Adam and Eve. See, out. They leave out. A-B-O-U-T. Ab in Hebrew means father. Our father is Yudhawah. So they teach you everything there is to know about Adam and Eve, and they leave out and teach you what they want you to know. Adam and Eve. And they rather teach you that Adam's wife's name was Eve. So why do they do that? So that you won't come, so that I can teach you of the righteous work that's ruled by Mem, opposed to the unrighteous work that's ruled by them. Right? Of W-R-K. As I mentioned in our first half, part 1, or part 3, part 2, supplement, in English, this word work came from the original Hebrew word that's known as maplaka. Maplaka, Bem, Lamet, Aleph, Kaf, He. And that means a political and righteous religious act. Political and religious. Reference H, Strong's called H 4399. See, most of my people rather go to church in the synagogues of the Jews and to come to us so we can teach you the name of Adam's wife is not Eve. Adam's wife, the first Hebrew woman's name is not Eve, E-V-E, which is another abbreviation of evil. But with the eye missing. They'd rather go there than to come to me so I can teach you that the name Eve is wrong. W-R-O-N-G. Now you wrote that down before we were interrupted. For those who missed it, grab something to write with. For those who rejoined us now on live stream. Grab something to write with so you can follow this now. Follow this revelation. The woman's name who was in the garden with Adam, Hebrew, her name was not Eve. E-V-E is wrong. Write it down. W-R-O-N-G, wrong. Right? Is that how you spell it? Right? That's how you spell it?
Yes, sir.
Okay, W-R-O-N-G. Okay, wrong. Write it down. And now that you've written it down, you already have. Now that you have written it down, remove the R from wrong. And now, who do you have? What family?
Wong.
You have Wong. Right? People that look like this, I got to do it. See? People who look like you have Wong. Wong, right? Wong. All right. Now that you have the family of Wong teaching you, what are they teaching you? The Chinese family of Asia. They're teaching you how to eat their food. And some study Buddhism. Buddhism.
Buddhism.
Yeah. Oh, it's Buddha? I thought it was Buddhism. Oh, Buddha. Oh, Buddhism. I thought their God name was Booty. Especially men. Yeah, I'm men full of booty. They putting posters online on booties. Buddhism. That's what they're teaching you. And how to eat pork fried rice. You want pork fried rice? Pork good for you. It's good for you. And what you say they're eating? They're eating dog, cat, rat, bat, all the ats.
And baby fats.
And baby fat. They're eating all the ats. And after you eat all the AT, the ats, then you put the E on the end that you ate. ATE, you ate it. That's the Wong family. The Wong family is the wrong family. Right? And that would explain one of many reasons why I wrote to Asia. And why you'll read it in Revelation chapter 1 and 2. It says, write to the 7 churches of Asia, even in Asia. And I wrote them. I wrote both the Chinese and the Japanese prime minister and presidents. Right? So, why are you following Wong? Because Wong of Asia hid all of the letters of you for you that you should know. And they hid from all of ye your R of righteousness, even righteous. And how they do that? By placing the W of Wong in front of the R that you now think is wrong. W-R-O-N-G. Well, is it? Is it wrong? Is the name Eve wrong? Yes.
Yes.
Why? Because Eve, E-V-E, is not the name of the first Hebrew woman of Adam, from Adam. And as I mentioned before we were cut off, we know her name is Kabaya. That's her name, right? Kabaya is her Hebrew name, Hebrew celestial name, which is right.
Praise.
R-I-G-H-T, praise Yahweh. And again, that's R-I-G-H-T from left to right without the W in front of right. When that happens, you get what? Right. W-R-I-G-H-T, not W-R-I-T-E. W-R-I-G-H-T, which is also a surname of an English family who also taught you wrong. Right?
Right.
So, what is of this R? What happened to your righteousness, Judah and Levi? The answer that we answered before we rudely interrupted and cut off, the answer is you were afflicted for 400 years with 360 days in each perfectly balanced solar year. Remember? Again, I repeat, you were rudely afflicted for 400 years with 360 days in each of the perfectly balanced solar years of affliction. That means that there are 30 days in each of the 12 months of our Hebrew calendar, solar. And when you add that up, as some of us did on Sunday, we came up with what figure?
144,000.
144,000 that was hidden that they think is in the Bible. It's not. I have never revealed that 144,000, did I? Well, now, as I stand on this mount of the kingdom of Yodewafe, even on this day, the 10th day of the 7th month of our solar calendar, I have with me an 100. I have an 100. I'm not going to disclose all of it right now, but I will share with you that I have an 100, which is undisclosed, an undisclosed amount of 100. I have an 100. And I also have with me Mem. Turn to it. Revelation chapter 14, verse 1. Let me just share with you a little of that. One day, if it's by God's will, I'm going to reveal all of it. And why you think, I wonder why they think it's going to be 12,000 going through each gate. 12 gates. You don't even know what the 1,000 is. You don't even know what the 12 is. Read that, Revelation chapter 14, verse 1. Please.
And I looked, and
First thing you got to do is know the past tense of look. That means it already happened. It already happened. Even this vision of Yohanan, it is happening even now. And what? Looked at what?
and lo,
See, it was low. You don't even know what low is. Why is it that you're dreaming there's 144,000? Show me that in the Bible. King James Version. 1611 edition. I looked and lo, what?
a lamb,
A lamb, not the lamb. A lamb. Even as they put the P and added another loop and made it a B. So that lamb without the top is a lamp of light. Right? What?
stood on Mount Sion,
Mount of Ion, Mount that I'm on, huh? And what?
and with him 100.
How many hundreds? I don't see a number in front of 100. Not in my Bible. I don't see a number in front of 100. So how you know how many hundreds it is? Why you think it's one? Who led you and taught you that it's one in front of 100? The church, the same church, the pastors, these people. They taught you it's one. I don't see, you see 100? I see an 100. That's Aleph Nun Sophie. And 100. And what else?
40
40
and 4,000,
and 4,000. What?
having his father's name
His father's name. What?
written in their foreheads.
In their forehead, not on it. That's what you have?
Yes, sir.
All right. Well, I have with me as I stand on this mount, this government, of the kingdom of Yodewafe, even on this day, the 10th day of the 7th month, I have with me an 100 undisclosed. You don't know if it's a 1, 2, 3, or 4, whatever number's in it, in front of it. Undisclosed, and 100. I also have with me Mem of water. And Mem sealed 40, 40, which is the number value of Mem, 40. And I also have with me this year of their calendar, the Gregorian calendar, which is what?
2020.
2020. This year, their calendar says 2020 or 2020. Right?
Yes, sir.
But I have with me this year, 2020, a few, only a few out of a complete nation of Yodewafe, that I have also placed the wisdom of 360 degrees of his ineffable name in their foreheads. I repeat, I have with me Mem today. I also have 100 that's not disclosed. And Mem had already sealed 40. That's why I said looked in past tense, which is its number value. Mem, right? And I also have with me here in Miami of Florida of the United States called America, this year, 2020, a few that were chosen out of the many that are now being called, right? That are of a complete nation of Yudawafe, that I have placed in their foreheads the wisdom of 360 degrees of the ineffable name Yod-Heh-Wav-Heh. Now that's 140, and now multiply this final year of their calendar, this present year, multiply that times the 10 tribes that are over the Middle East today and are not here with me, Mem, yet. And I'm not with them yet. Multiply 10 times 2020 and tell me what you get. What? You don't have 20 times what?
20,000.
Huh?
20,000.
20 times 20, 20,000. Right? Okay. Now,
2020.
now, multiply 10 times 2020 what? 20 plus 20 is what?
40.
Add that together. See, I just gave you, yeah, add 20 plus 20 together. 40, 2020. Right? Add it together, because I'm joining it. You got to add it to this year. You got to add that to the 140. So you got to add the 2020 with that. So 2020 is 40. Now we're not with the 10 tribes, but I'm going to bring them too. I'm going to be with them. I'm going to add them. So now add the 10 to the 40. Add 10 times 40, and what you get? What you get? 400, right? Okay, now add the 400 times 10.
Oh,
1,000. Wow,
Okay.
it's going up.
Right? Okay. So now you have the 10, the 400, and 140, which is 840 and 4,000. Right now. Well, I'm gonna tear it up later. I'm just giving you an idea. Because you got to know what the 10 is, the other 10. You got the 10 tribes, but you also have 10 rulers, 10 horns. Each one of those tribes is a king, is a ruler of Israel. Although Judah is the chief ruler. Right?
Right.
Okay. That sounds familiar? 140 and 4,000.
Right.
All right. Now that you multiplied that, you already multiplied the infinitive number of 360 degrees, and you got 144,000. Okay, so let's go back now. With that said, what happened to the R? The subject right now is the R. The R. What happens to the R of Eve? What happened to the R of wrong, of righteousness? They placed the R on the end of the name that they gave you of Adam's wife. That's what happened to your righteousness that you were not supposed to learn in the churches, go to the Sunday schools. So it took R that was created from Resh. Huh? This is Resh. It's Resh. They took R and put on the end of EVE. What you thought was Eve's was Adam's wife's name. And when they did that, They gave you ever. E-V-E-R. Didn't they? It didn't they?
Yes.
E-V-E-R. Now this ever, E-V-E-R, is for Mem, Yod, me, to reveal today. How will I do it? And when will I use this word? Ever. When will I use this ever? I read it to you in Leviticus chapter 23 and verse 31. See, when Judah and Lavi, or when Yehuda and Lavi come across the ocean or across the sea in bondage to America and Haiti, then it will be my pleasure to deliver Judah and Lavi back to their own land with the other 10 tribes of Israel and to their own God, Yahweh. In other words, the English and the English word and the Lion Jews, the Lion English, the Lion Jews gave you their word ever, E-V-E-R, right? You should write it down, E-V-E-R, ever. That's what they did, especially the Lion Jews. They gave you E-V-E-R. Well, there is no E in Hebrew. Is it? There are no vowels in Hebrew. So where did this E come from? And now you're reading it in their Bible, English Bible. Neither is there a V in Hebrew, V in Hebrew. So where did that come from? What happened? How did we arrive to the E and the V to empower the R for Rome? First of all, here's why. Their E and cap. Don't look at the small lowercase e. Their E and cap is a symbol, a hieroglyphic of Phoenicia that the Phoenicians used that pertains to our Beth. Symbol pertains to Beth. Turn backward. See, E goes this way. Right? E, the English E. So what they did was they took the E and turned it, they took the Beth, this is Beth, they took the Beth and turned it backwards and created the symbol E. You got it?
Yes, sir.
That's what Phoenicia did. And then the English came along thousands of years later, stole the Phoenicians' E, turned it backward, and created their E, as you know it today. And then here comes the Lion Jews, the sin of gods of Satan, according to Revelation chapter 2, verse 9, and 3, verse 9. So what they do? They took iron. I have that here too. They took iron, right? And they took Beth, turned it back with the E, and they put iron here, and they gave you E, they gave you E-V-E. E-V-E. But then they took iron and made that an E. Oh, they just confused the hell out of all of you. I'm going to show you. The Jews took the English E today and converted our iron into also becoming the E. They took this and made it become the E. I said they took iron and made iron, the Jews, the Lion Jews, they took iron and made it their E. that came from our iron, and they did that to deceive you as liars. And then in 1675, they created their V from the same iron. To the V. They also took it from Wab. They took the V from Wab. I have Wab here too. We have them all. We have all of them. They took Wab, W-A-W-B, and replaced that with V. V. Right? Okay. And now, as a result, this Eve, EVE, with the R added to EVE, created their ever, EVER, which is not found translated in the English Bible. Right? As forever, I should say forever is not added in the Bible. Forever. But they took that ever, which is now found translated, only to become ever, separated as ever, not forever. It's separated from the word for, that you think is read forever, but it's read forever. That means it's being done forever. It's being, see, ever, it's got to be with ever to be there forever, because ever gonna use it for something. Ever needs it. Ever needs it today to reveal to you whatever is. Just as it reads in verse 31, I'm going to read that again. Leviticus chapter 23 and verse 31, I'm going to read it again as I quote. Ye shall do no manner of work. It shall be a statute forever throughout your generations and all your dwellings, period. Why your dwellings? Why not your temples? Why dwellings? Because first of all, you will not be living in a house. You'll be dwelling in the land. Why else? Because our people right now are not living. Their minds are dead. So they're only dwelling in the dust of the earth. So what do ye and you do in your dwellings today, behind closed doors? Uh-oh. With the children. You can't put the children to bed. Give them some lunch. I say, what do ye and you do in your dwellings behind closed doors? Or at least your doors should be closed. Come on, it's easy. All together now, it's easy. You play Adam and Eve in your dwellings behind closed doors. That's what you do, right? Women, men, you play Adam and Eve. Because Adam and Eve were both naked. They didn't know they were naked. Yeah, they were naked. Didn't even know they were naked. And when you play Adam and Eve, you play Adam and Eve forever. E-V-E-R. And didn't even know it. You play Adam and Eve forever. E-V-E-R. And you also play Adam and Eve with ever. E-V-E-R. Right, man? And Eve even took ever and ate of ever. Why are you looking like that? I say Eve took ever, E-V-E-R. And when she found that ever was good for food and pleasant to the sight for eyes, she also gave ever to her husband. And he took ever and played with ever. And then he took ever and placed ever in her womb. Keep in mind that in Hebrew, this Eve does not exist without me. It doesn't exist with me or without me, or as me. However, what does exist is Mem, Ayin, Beth, and Resh. Mem, see, all that exists. All this exists. I'm going to blow your mind now. Mem, see, here's what it exists. This what exists. Mem, Ayin, Beth, right? And Resh. That's what exists. That creates that word. It creates their word. See, it creates their word known as member. I said, Mem, Ayin, Beth, Resh creates member. Oh, you know that. As in member, as in a member of your body parts. In particular, the men body parts, the men members body parts. You think I'm making it up? And the Jews know that. Hand me that book, the Hebrew Dictionary. Yeah, don't put that up. You need that. They know that. I'm going to turn in this dictionary, Hebrew Dictionary, copyright 1992, the same year when I went into the tomb to see Mount Olive for the last time face to face in the flesh. Copyright. This book, dictionary. On page 72, which is the same amount of years that he was with us here on the earth in the flesh. It has in here ever. To the bottom of page 72. EVER. And to the bottom it says limb, L-I-M-B. Limb or organ. Is spelled in Hebrew from right to left, Mem, Ayin, Beth, Resh. Like as a member. You got it? Now, I want you to, it also has in parentheses, me, M-E. Now, I want you to read where it's highlighted. I'm going to let another voice bear witness. I can read it, but they're going to hear you too. And I can show them what you're about to read. I don't know if they can see it to the bottom here. I gave you, now if I gave you the reference of this dictionary, you could try and find it, but I doubt if you would. I found this dictionary downtown Miami in 1999 in a store that was closing out. It was a closeout sale. They're getting ready to get rid of this book. My op say, grab it, not mine. Take it. You're going to hear the voice of one of the angels read it. I want you to quote it. Read what's highlighted yellow and in purple. Nice and loud so the whole world can hear you read. Whatever means. Whatever was hidden. Whatever is. EVER for the Jews. That was hidden. Hieroglyphic. What?
Quote, ever,
Ever.
limb,
Limb, L-I-M-B.
organ,
Organ.
ever,
Ever again. Another one.
penis,
What?
penis,
Penis. P-E-N-I-S. A member part. Ever.
genitals,
Genitals. You don't even know who ever is. You think it's forever. And not even realizing that Eve is forever. E-V-E-R. What else?
Ever. Side.
Side
Towards.
or what?
In the direction of.
Wait, in the direction of
Ever.
ever.
Across.
Across. Across what?
Beyond.
Beyond.
Ever.
Ever.
Overseas.
Overseas, as Judah would come overseas.
Across.
Across
The sea.
the sea.
End quote.
In another land. Now you have something in parentheses. You got to read. What's in parentheses? Don't you see M-E in parentheses? In purple?
Yes, me.
Me. M-E. Twice. Now, next to me, what you have, look at the Hebrew spelling from right to left. What you have from right to left?
You have men,
Mem,
ayin,
Ayin,
bet,
Beth,
resh.
Resh. Member. You thought you know what ever is. Forever. That's what you thought. It's confirmed. So what do you have? What do you get when you have sex? And not make love or a mind to show affection. You have sex, right? So what do you have? What does it give you? It should give you pleasure, don't you? All right. But you also have Eve without righteousness. Sex, pleasure without righteousness. So now I would like to demonstrate. I want you to show them on this television. I want you to show them on this television. We're going to show them before we close. We're getting ready to close. Because we got to go celebrate. As I read, I'm going to read the last chapter. I'm going to read the last verse, though. I want you to go to that page. You have it? You have to go to the internet that we have up already.
You see?
No, go back to the yeah, go down and go to the internet. Right there, internet. Should still be up.
That's what I did. It closed out.
It closed off. Okay, so here's what you do. We have to get that back. Go to Google. All right.
Okay, it's up now.
You got it back up? Yeah. All right. Now, here's what I want you to type in. I want to make sure the whole world can see this. I want to make sure they see it, those who are watching. Okay, I'm going to have to move out of the way. I'm going to step to the side. I think I'm closer to move out the side this way. All right? Yeah, watch this. Just move it. Move it out of the way. Can you see that now? All right, now I want you to type in, this is a Hebrew, you can go on Google and type in Google Translation, Google Translate. Because all of y'all thought Eve was a woman. But I told you that the Jews took Ayin and made it the E, and they took Wab and made it a V. So I want you to type in Ayin, right on the keyboard, Ayin, right up here, right over here, Ayin, right up here,
Oh, I can't see.
right there, the Ayin. Now type in Wab, remember Wab, the V? Now type in Ayin again, E. Now what do you get? Exit out, up to the top, exit. What do you get? Pleasure, E-V-E, it's a pleasure. That's what it means.
Yeah.
Desire.
Sex.
Yeah.
I said it in
Yes. That's all it was about.
That's all it's about. Now when you add R, now add the R to that.
there. That's crazy. We were just on
Add the R to that. Right here. Resh. Right next to Olive. Right there. Add it. Add it. Just click it.
I did.
Okay. Here's what you do. X that out.
There you
Okay, there it is. There it is. All right. Okay, you may not be able to do it. X it out first. Don't not
Oh.
that. Yeah, X out up to the top next to pleasure. Oh, you did add it. So now you got the awake. When you add the R, the rest, you awake. Awake, Judah.
Like,
Awake out of the dust of the earth. That's how you awake. Forever. E-V-E-R. E-V-E-R, ever wake. Awake. I'm not here to convince you of nothing who I am.
Praise you.
Go to church. It was promised that I would guide you into all truth.
All of
And I'm doing just that.
Praise you, they want me.
it.
With that said, I'm going to read the last verse of Leviticus chapter 23 and verse 32, because here's what we get ready to go do. Verse 32, it shall be unto you a Sabbath of rest, and ye shall afflict your souls in the 9th day of the month at even, from even until even, shall ye celebrate your Sabbath. The only truth of this verse is we're going to celebrate. And that's what we get ready to go do. We are going to go celebrate. As I say, Toda, thank you for joining us today. Shabbat Shalom,
Shalom.
Adoki Ahab,
Shalom.
and Shalom Aleichem.
Shalom.
We're going to celebrate.